silent! Silent as the grave!
Believe and walk in faith. Let the light of your soul shine for all to see.
Emmett?
Not quite the outcome you'd imagined, but a fitting one nonetheless. Don't you think so, Hades?
Huh? Who are you? What do you think of the forest? Is it positively pleasant? Simply sublime? I don't see any... Wait. You don't mean those crystals are out there are... Right you are. Our forests are made of crystals and constructs dotting the landscape as far as the eye can see. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. The information was sent to our collaborators were quite enlightening. After much deliberation, we distinguished crystalline constructs in the place of living trees. And thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air cleans as you find in the forests on I can't... Etheirys? Etheirys? Fountain here behind us, powdered by a rather large crystal adorning its top, playing a vital role supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort was spent making the most of spherical spheres, and I dare say, the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. I enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch for a spot relaxation when I come up here. You look like you could do with a stretch yourself. I mean, he's not wrong. That's the spirit. I feel more relaxed simply watching it. Same with many years spent building this place. It's not too much to ask. It's always been draining mine to take a walk through the frost with someone from the Etheirys. Could we maybe... I don't see why not. Astonishing. These crystals are... I never thought these crystals to be forests. Weird. I was thinking, Dracia, that I could be more helpful to you by teaching you a little about the moon and what it is we do. When we first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiac, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. But eventually, Heidelin gave us our first task. Furnish the moon with a propulsion systems capable of facility to travel to other stars. It sounds impressive, and I suppose in some respects it is, but it's only possible to thanks to all the knowledge Heidelin shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done. 6,000 years, give or take. But anyway, let's keep going. Jeez. 6,000 years? It's astonishing, to be honest. I never thought this would be... There seems to be a lot more than it is letting on. What? No, I'm not sure what it is you do with the crystals on Etheirys, but we certainly don't eat them. And certainly not this one. It possesses all the 6 elements: wind, lightning, fire, earth, ice, and water. We use crystals like these to maintain the moon's elemental equilibrium. It's worth mentioning, though, because of Heidelin's influence, being the embodiment of quitrility and stasis, and all manipulating the elements here, is different than it might be on Etheirys. Countering ignite of fire will sooner dry your clothes than a singe on them, for example. Put simply, etheric conditions are ill-suited to growth, which is why the surface is mostly barren. Of course, this was all necessary to keep the raging energies of Zodiac in check. Oh, that's interesting. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building habitable areas after propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we started sooner. Who would have thought we'd need 4,000 years to make all this? It certainly wasn't work you dare rush either. We created infrastructures and countless supporting systems, some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. And then there was a brief period of productivity came to a screeching halt. When that bizarre red satellites end up on Etheirys, the algorithms shift, I think. We thought maybe some new and nefarious actors allowed a coordinating with the Zodiac. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can tell how relieved we were when Heidelin informed us of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. Say, you notice anything peculiar about the tree trunks? I mean, apart from the fact they're massive crystals, not trees. I'll give you a hint. The golden ring emanates from the glowing spheres. Along the device fixed near the ceilings, they fulfill a role similar to our sun, to do so better, even. The sun and celestial objects are in a great expanse radiating energy that is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from that energy while allowing you to breathe in a perfect amount of sunlight, or rather a close approximation of it. Pretty impressive, would you say? Oh, if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees have ever so slightly different conjurative. Yes, indeed. This forest is truly the greatest. I am... There was something I wanted to tell you about. Oh, right. The propulsion systems and the HAPIS facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit for purpose. Which is all well and good, except we still knew absolutely nothing about the present day of people of Etheirys. Why not go visit Etheirys yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technology launched of our moon's true purpose exploited for evil ends, the results could be disastrous. When there were a few more rejoinings, it became increasingly difficult to conserve with Heidelin. For we might lose the ability to communicate with her altogether. We beseeched her to find people in Etheirys that we could trust to help. And we were quite fortunate. Everything worked out as it did. Huh. So, that's a sun up there, alright. Interesting. Well, then. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I started to wonder as if... Interesting. This is fantastic by far. I'll admit it. Fantastic. With the exception routine, inspections, and maintenance, we remained, slept and waited, hopeful Heidelin would find someone who would help us. Eventually she did. Though her barrage was waning, we were able to speak to them directly for a short while. We shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens and a means to travel here to the moon. They were certainly wasting their time with what we taught them. No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all letters and books and other resources they sent, we learned through enough to start make more meaningful changes to the moon. And now that you're here, hopefully you enjoyed yourself as much as I am. I know you like Greatest Endsville. I know it. Thanks for coming here, by the way. I know it's just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. There you are. I take you already received a grand tour? A shame we missed it. Right away. I've been looking all over for you. Oh. Oh, is this by the teleporter to the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. I'm calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? I can't imagine why you need me there, but if you insist. We won't be away long. You're more than welcome to continue look about the barrel. Come along, Growing Way. Before you arrive, you seem in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn of any of import? They spent 12,000 years preparing for this? With the appointed hour of fast approaching, I can certainly understand their relentlessness, but still. It remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate there when there is yet no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who readily comes to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these cleverets are, unless they possess the world's most powerful charming personality, or the means forcibly evacuate people, they will meet with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even in face annihilation, a decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Of course, we can accompany you if you look. Something is bothering me. What's going on with Urianger, though? Disclaimer, the difficult decisions lies ahead of us. Preparation for evacuation in Etheirys is indeed crucial, but I am not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections. I trust I am not alone in my recepticides. Yeah, there's just so much going on, honestly. Back to old tricks. Did Urianger seem strange to you? More so than usual, I mean. I know he has a part challenge to keep his own counsel, but I'll be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Well, you'll go see if he is alright. You sure to remain here and see we can else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps you can catch up to him. Yeah, it looks like it for the most part. Yeah, it looks like it for the most part. So, we defeated Zodiac. Part of me thinks that if Zodiac is dead, what now? And how are we gonna stop the final days, is the question. And I mean, the answer to how to stopping the final days remains unquestioned. It still remains shrouded a bit of mystery a little bit. I don't know how we can stop the final days, honestly. There have been enough calamities for one day, honestly. Huh? There he is. What is he doing? Urianger appears to be heading towards the entrance of Bestway Burrows. Who's gonna stop the Urianger? What is he up to? I don't like the look of this. I don't. I really don't. I just don't. Maybe. Weren't you venture yourself to a moratorium for reasons unknown? You must tread carefully, else he might sense your presence. Where is it going? For knowledge from a safe distance. The objective to end affiliate if you've noticed, or you're too far behind. Urianger? Urianger? What are you up to, buddy? Oh shit. He doesn't know he's being followed. Where is he going? I don't like the look of this. Who's there? Where is he going? What is he doing?
Thine arrival is timely as ever. Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Living Way, I presume?
Mm-hmm. What's troubled you?
'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again.
Why?
Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity. And Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life. I was complicit in the scheme. Sacrifice averted for mercy.
Well, we can thank Emmett for that.
Would that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain, brokered by my hand, were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine, a beloved daughter.
Yeah.
Two souls, whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives. Ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbringer, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians.
But...
In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today.
Aww. Maria.
Selfish wants, born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning. One which must never again come to pass.
That... yeah. The vision of Amarot which Emmett showed us, it was... dread.
Thus must we struggle. Haunted by ghosts of those we have lost. Clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
Would that we had the time to weigh the costs. Sometimes there are no right answers. Etheirys of your decision. Take heart and protect those, and protect well those you can. Honestly, it's... so Vitra, he said take heart and protect well those you can. Or was it the other one? Or was it the opposite? I could be wrong in both ways, but... I would definitely would say that we had the time to weigh the costs.
Tis a comfort to know we are of like mind in that regard. Strange. Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly. I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond. It would be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
What are they saying? these ears, I've had bugger all. No matter. We've got our plans.
Uh-oh. 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 I feel that we're being heard and watched. Loving ways, darlings. More enemies join the fray. Well, this is fun. Well, this is gonna be interesting. I got to wonder. Nothing. Alright, Orange A, how are you faring, my dude? There, 'tis done. Okay? Magic ink. Every ounce of sufficient that is crafted by normal. I would occasionally conjure my own, but nevertheless the most useful skill. Certainly. The resulting product is admittedly possessed no natural properties, but use of one of my own choosing. A bright luxuries will appreciate. Who's that? Something most urgent. Dire even. That's convenient. Suspiciously convenient. Yeah, something's off about it. Something about him is suspicious. now. Suspiciously convenient. Suspiciously convenient. Something tells me something is up. I know all too well, honestly. Is really that important? Yeah, something is up. Yeah, something is very suspicious. Even more conveniently so. There he is. We got him. Yes, I'm running away. Do you mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your ball of mouse flesh? I'm highly knowledgeable about the final days? Ha! That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard since I woke up. Who told you that joke? Hey, we got to talk about find this with so much to do before the great voyage. It's true that I had imparted some knowledge of the event, but I would know as much about any larpers around here. Less, probably. I don't know why I think it's a funny going around telling people that I'm an expert, but I didn't hope that I don't get in my paws on them. Sorry I couldn't be more of help. If nothing else, I got work to do. And my mouth? Questionable. Very questionable. Also, something about living way is suspicious. So, he knows no more than the others. Well, you see, I misremembered. Yes, that's it, I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. I'm afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. I can't remember who I was thinking of. All are on a related note. What about Urianger? I assumed you spoke with her earlier. Did he say when he would be returning? On the way, the Watcher's palace of living away. Between growing waste sudden lapse of memories and a lack of our other leads, maybe it's our time to spend better with Urianger, letting the Urianger a hand. What? What? No, hold on a moment. It's coming back at me. Yes. Remember, the information I'm looking for, it's in the archives. Yes. That's where you will find all sorts of useful knowledge, including the pertaining of the final days. The archives? The archives? I find it a bit deceiving. Heart of the matter. Second floor of the main plaza, Eastern Wing. I suspect the Larpin's up to something, but there's all to learn in the final days. I think it's best we play along, for now at least. And there's 2 more. That means if I complete this one and get the other 2 blue quests done, I can be able to fly around the damn place. It's honestly exhausting. It's honestly exhausting. Amority is like one thing. They're like giant, ancients and vice versa. A lot of us are one thing, but Labitis on the other hand is so a lot of us are one thing. Lapirates, on the other hand, are even far more devilish. Or even far more cunning compared to those of Lalafell. If Hearthgar are not that cunning, but what? Okay. Well, that was a weird question to answer, but okay. Anyways, as I was saying, it would seem that anyways, enough of that. I kinda lost my train of thought there, so. Is this the archive? The archives are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. I'm just gonna have to go find whoever has key. Growing way enough. Yes, we did, but the moon was perfectly the paradise for people at Etheirys. We're running out of time to make everything ready for their arrival. We're hoping to see the wonders we have to offer, but you have found nothing but faults and flaws in our work. Only one of you saw the potential, so you others must be kept here. So, that's Living Ways game. Living Ways game. Running about out of the circles and failing at that will lock us away, so we gotta put the planet at risk. Everyone except Urianger. I understand the stakes. What must be done? Everything was just accordingly. We never decried the notion of using the moon as a means to escape. That's it. My heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Etheirys and her reflections to their doom. If there is a way to avert the final days, I wish to find it. We all do. We may fail, but our efforts will never be at the expense of your plans. But why would you take that risk? There's no room for ifs and maybes now. To the moon and they will be safe. Let's see their happy and smiling faces. Seriously? Well, do what must. Don't try to hurt them. Do not try to hurt them. Well, it seems we're at an impasse. If we dally, they will almost have sheer numbers. I'll say we knock these ones out, split up, and make our way to the exit. Agreed. Let us reconvene where Argus awaits outside. Alright. You won't escape! Surrender! Caesar! Ah! Blah! We need reinforcements. Ow, that hurt! More. Too strong. Ah! She's too powerful! Please come quietly. I'm afraid not. He left us no choice. We have to save them. Alright, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's Palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here. The time has come for you to return to Etheirys and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way. But I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
Huh? But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late!
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
Oh, bugger!
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose? For millennia, you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular purpose of this heavenly vessel's construction. An arduous feat by any measure. 'Tis clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
Names are an expression of the self, a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations. Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose. There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Etheirys is boundless and pure.
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous phrasing! We Loporrits were born of Hydaelyn's love for Etheirys. That shining, shimmering blue jewel, brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities. For as long as I can remember, I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed. All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly, to serve and serve well. That goes for all of us, don't you see? So help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe. If there's anything wrong with what we've built, we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men, and your own kin besides. Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Etheirys are beyond counting, and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we've met.
My name is Puddingway.
Puddingway? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure, but one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words. A judicious application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate. And Living Way. 'Tis no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker. When I was a bookish boy, a dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day, I posed to her a question of mine own. What does it mean to live? After much contemplation, she proffered this answer. The anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson. The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I want to understand, but...
I, too, still labor to find mine own answer. 'Twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. For thee. Ink as blue as the waters of Etheirys. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course. Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Livingway's compendium. An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order. Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort.
Yeah.
To
Smart.
accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last, that such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Aye, thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind, if being the operative term.
It's red now. That flower. How did it came into your possession? How very like her. What do you mean? Guided by its light, you may come to know her true intentions. Intentions which remain the mystery even to us. In our turn, we called it Ellipse. We do well remember the name. Interesting.
I hate to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growingway and the others.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Etheirys, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts. Oh, and circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, we ought to discuss our benefactors.
Agreed. The Charlayan Forum, yes?
What? How did you know?
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement.
Yeah.
Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
Oh yeah. For sure. Well, off we go then. At the Nether Gate. Oh, that's a new one. I seriously believe we went to the moon and back. But we have to time to reflect on that later. Right now, we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucina. I'll very much on how everyone's getting on here as well. They only just begun treating intemperate prisoners when we left. Out of your curiosity, but one of allies to find ideas is of greater importance. I'm glad Fendaniel is gone, but Xenos is still around somewhere, supposedly. Where could he have gone? We're done with camp for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. Before we do, what can tell us what will become of Garmold in our absence? Yeah. And will Temper to be relocated? Oh, no. With sufficient shelter, 10,000 of their treatment begun. Enough healers volunteer remain until their patients have recovered. There's one such patient, although he is not fit to receive visitors. Oh, no, chaos. None of the most will be with us today. Oh yeah. Regarding Garlemald? To keep watch over Providence. Received a report that each and every tower has vanished. Oh, for the mercy. Not quite fine to experience that earlier. Have been rescued and received treatment. Hasten to discover. Ah, interesting. Completed. Those in Garlemald. Still call these lands home. Somewhat of the moon and the Tauropoly. Well, let's say big happens. Final days. Gods, I pray the victory will mark the end of our troubles. There's still much we do not know, but Alliance leaders must be told. Means to avert the coming apocalypse. Let us be our way then. One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with the Zodiac, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood he has returned here to Garlemald. I have in mind to dispatch the scouts trying to ascertain his whereabouts. But first, wish to ask if you believe there is a merit in doing so. If they found him, they were not likely to live to tell the tale. I suppose you're right. Dispatch a good soldiers to pursue such a beast. We send them to their deaths. Pray I forget I entertained the notion. One of them served to Xenos, the 10th made an official proclamation. They denounced the Crown Prince and condemned his rule as the Emperor's downfall. His very tale has become the source of shame among his former subjects, and his continuing to serve only hindered the relations of the fallen nations. For this reason, he is declared as Xenos Valator Galvus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. Fandaniel's no more, and now his own people turn against him. It seems he's naught but bloodlust to keep him company. Better to see in an army see that is stated, at any rate. I will not keep you longer. I pray you safe passage back to Charlian. Well, I did so terribly worry about you. Must have been that caused a fair share of worry. For that, I apologize. Well, we might as well. Final days as befell Amarant. And where were to Scipiae moon? What of the source of reflections? I had no intent to stand standing by while the war falls to ruin. So, how do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. If celestial currents have grown stagnant, as it was the case in time Amarant, the solution would be to alter the flow of ether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiac, sacrificing half the star's population in doing. But should it go without saying, that such a sacrifice must not, cannot repeat it. Which leaves us the daunting task undefended underlining Catalyst the final days, a feat which even Amortots could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we have no clues in Miralolitarium. There's still much we don't know about the caster itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days will remark the corruption in Amorot's creation and matches, but we command no such power, which invites the question, what havoc is in it stored for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallel events of the past, thereby form some semblance of plan. Perhaps we should start with the forehand then. Having worked with Larpret's secret all the time, surely there's more they can tell us. I have urgent news. Some sort of announcement. There's only one way to find out. It seems the Forum are up to something.
Order! Order, I say! I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Sharlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, so we have called for a public assembly.
So soon? Is it about the final days?
You may have heard rumors of the Talopheroi and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The End-Bearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. First,
Something suspicious about this.
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
Now? Oh. The enchantment's broken. Why? Why so soon?
Master Leveilleur, you would.
Right as...
Very well.
right after the towers have been felled.
"270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the Ethereal Sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the Ethereal Sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself.
Oh.
She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared.
Spared?
The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom. Much like Nunkref's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus. For his impressive contributions and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Etheirys to oversee this initiative.
You must be out of your
Fellow
minds.
scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be.
Unless if there is a
It is
way...
our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
Now...
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work. If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
he knew all along.
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit. Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave.
Take your time. It's not like it's gonna coming soon.
Thank you. I shan't be long.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Nay, we do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Only.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Charlian, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures, and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? What would you have them do? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence. This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done. That we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
Oh. That was good.
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Bold words call for bold action. And there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
Yep.
As if I ever would. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested. Wouldn't you agree? Having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
Yeah.
Shall we then? To the Annex. To prepare for tomorrow.
You tell him. You tell him. What a great... Alright, so... Oh, speaking of the devil... There we go. To think you're able to do that on such a short notice, too. It is plainly obvious that something like this would happen. If there's a dungeon later on, I wouldn't get that to it. If there's a trial, I would do it. Just like our journey into the moon, and we fought Zodiark. Ugh. Criminally. Weird. Oh. It's just having... Vista comes knocking a door. Whoever could it be? Oh my. How to... I'm... Oh.
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to... If you could spare a moment before bed.
What's the matter?
Thank you. I fear this may be the last quiet night we have to talk for quite some time.
What's wrong?
I am troubled of late. Unwarranted concerns, perhaps. I hope. Nevertheless, I feel compelled to share them with you. Though you have bested your enemies thus far, Xenos and even Zodiark, your victories have come at a considerable cost to yourself. No one is without their limits, and you are no exception. I worry the added weight of the final days will prove more than you can bear. It is surely too much for any one woman. But you needn't bear it alone. Let me share your burden.
Aww. Raha, you wouldn't...
My, carrying capacity pales in comparison to yours, but I could still help. Shoulder the occasional satchel from your ever-growing mountain of, baggage. You have done so much to help relieve me of mine own encumbrances. 'Tis only fair that I repay you in kind.
Honestly, we helped you get your Algan eye back, and you helped us through the first. Even though trying to save my sorry butt from turning it into a sin eater. I understand that, but I would hate to lose you, man.
Of course, it needn't be only troubles we share. Moments of joy may seem few and far between now, but there will come a time when we look back fondly on this journey.
For sure.
The inquiry at the Forum, our march through the snows of Garlemald, our impromptu dinner in this very room. All of it. And that is to say nothing of the journeys yet to come. To the ends of the world and beyond. But tomorrow will be no less busy than today, and I've kept you from your rest long enough. Sleep well, my friend.
Aww. Thanks, Graha. That's really nice. I'm glad they just added the... I really like just pick character who you think might be at the door. I just chose Grahatia because it's... You know... He has been through so much, and I just love him as a person, as a character as a whole. And he is
Thank the
great.
gods that tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
Thank the Ilsabar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
Aye, I heard the same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum too. But is it true they brought back tempered Gallian soldiers?
Yes, those who were tempered by anima.
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I see. Well, that's a relief then.
Huh?
I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. It's to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
Hello? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Jobolius? What's happening to the guy? May want an Ishgard. Uh-oh. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. I do not like this.
Another day, another commission of paramount importance.
Aravel, what are you doing here?
Well, what have we here?
Something's... Uh-oh.
Hey, are you all right?
Uh-oh.
Was that? No. The shadows play tricks, nothing more.
Nuh-uh. No way, man. That is not what's happening right now. Something amiss is going awry.
The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat is abated. Yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse?
Oh no. What? Something is... I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. What's going on? Is the sky turning black or something? Sky's aflame. Is the sky about to set aflame soon? Mm-hmm. I'm here, so... Our worst comes to pass, but a moment ago we seen the grim titans in a contact at Ras-Satan. Vile beasts appeared out of nowhere, claiming one victim after the next. What more, they say the sky burns. The very sky burns above them. It's already here? But it's... Good gods, are the final days already upon us? It appears so. Suddenly, that's all information we have at the present. No doubt the people in Roston are busy and fighting for their lives. We must go at once. They need our help. Agree. Cryubas remain here with Totoro and gather what knowledge we can. You're no condition for the long journey, I'd imagine. We must prepare ourselves for what may lie ahead. Journey to Thalnir. Are the skies about to set aflame? Is it gonna be red? Weird. Let's get to the great work. I don't understand what's going on. It's not affecting the rest areas yet.
And lo, vile beasts did rise.
leaving naught in their wake but blood and ash. Sun scorches earth and boils seas. And our sins ascend unto the heavens. 3 dooms to unmake all we were.
3 dooms. That's right.
The sky burns. The final days are truly upon us.
My friends, I trust you have heard the news.
We have. What can you tell us of the situation, Your Excellency?
Last night, the isle was rocked by tremors, and the earth itself cried out. Aloft, the heavens began to burn. From all about, unholy beasts, the likes of which we had never seen, came forth in fury and rage. No. To say they came forth would be inexact. The people of Radzat-Han themselves transformed into these baleful fiends.
As I suspected.
Though the phenomenon was observed throughout our lands, the first creature, the largest and most dreadful of the lot, wrought havoc upon us here in our fair city. Though they bear superficial resemblance to divinities of legend, they are ungodly abominations. The people decry them as blasphemies. The large one's rampage has since taken it to the northern reaches of the island. I mean to dispatch our radiant host in an attempt to quell the threat.
And what of Vritra?
Vritra too makes for the north of his own accord, and yet he knows the blasphemy and its minions were but yesterday his beloved people. I pray his boundless compassion and mercy does not deter him from taking unenviable but necessary action.
Understood. I ask that you allow us to aid you in quelling this threat.
You would risk your lives to help us yet again? I have no words to express my gratitude. Our regiments approach the north from several directions, with a number of units set to depart from the docks of Yedliman. They will make landfall in an area of dense jungle, where one can expect to encounter dangers even beyond the fell beasts we hunt. I leave you to your preparation. You will find me at the docks when you are ready to depart.
We're as prepared as we'll ever be. Let's go.
If there is a way to avert this crisis, this apocalypse, how do we stop it? Apocalypse. Yep. That's about it. Who knew this would be terrifying? Honestly. Who knew this would happen?